My name is Emmanuel Afriyie Arthur, and I'm a 22-year-old Ghanaian artist currently living in Kumasi. And my journey as an artist started at the age of 10, inspired by my mom's work as a GK teacher in SHS. I remember back then she would take me with her to school whenever I was on vacation, so I got a chance to see some of her students paint and sculpt, which inspired me to make my very first painting. And I furthered my education at Tia Media Senior High School, where I learned how to paint properly and sculpt better. Then after SHS, I gained admission at KNUST, the Department of Painting and Sculpture, where I learned a lot about the art world, and I learned about various artists, their art styles, and the approach they take to creating their artworks. So what I learned in university was what inspired me to move out of my comfort zone to experiment with mediums I wasn't familiar with. So it was in third year I decided to use bleach and dyes to paint instead of the acrylic paint I was actually fond of. So I used bleach and dyes to make my artworks from third year till I completed, which was last year. Then a month after completing, I had this new idea of working with plastics to create these art pieces, which is my current body of work. I would describe my artistic style as very experimental, and my African heritage has influenced it because growing up African means barely anything goes to waste. We tend to reuse most things after it serves its initial purpose. For the current body of work, I start by collecting large numbers of bottles and bottle caps with the help of my mother and my little brother. Then I bring these bottles home, I wash them, I cut the top and bottom parts of the bottles, I cut the side open, then I flatten it with an iron. Then after flattening the plastic bottle, I sew it together with a needle and a copper wire to the desired size I'll be using for a specific work. And that forms the first part of the work. Then for the second part, I sort these bottle caps into different color combinations where I melt, twist them and flatten them with an electric grill. Then I use a template of the reference, which I drew on cardboard, and trace the parts of the reference onto the flattened plastics. Then I cut it out with a cutter, then I rearrange it like a puzzle. Then whilst I'm rearranging it, I glue it together with an adhesive. Then after forming the entire image, I turn it over and sand the back of the second part of the work, apply glue, then put it on the first part of the work. Then after that, I put some weights on it for it to stick to it. Then when I'm done with the entire work, I use the top of the bottles I cut off earlier as the means of hanging the artwork. So I stick that to the top of the artwork so that it can be used as something you can mount the work with. I was at home doing my own thing, and a friend of mine who is also an artist by the nickname Kakalika sent me the Instagram post for the open call. So I just applied, and lo and behold, I got selected. Even by just the thought of actually being selected gives me goosebumps till this day. Most Africans enjoyed their childhood by crafting makeshift toys from waste materials when the store-bought ones seemed expensive. So my current body of work is more like an evolved version of the culture we embrace as African children. The work I'm creating for the exhibition at Gallery Soview is one I titled Lit by Dreams, and the the story behind it talks about a little boy who is keen on achieving his dreams and is not going to let anyone or anything get in his way. So not even the absence of light is going to stop him from learning. So you can see from the artwork an image of a little boy holding a lamp with books surrounding him learning. And the entire piece is made from recycled plastics. Beyond the specific message in the artwork, there is a broader theme to convey in my current body of work, which talks about seeing beautiful things coming from things that may seem unlikely or worthless. And it highlights the importance of practicing sustainability and recycling practices here. Yeah, Barbara has been very open-minded and more than willing to answer any questions concerning our newfound partnership. And at this point, it's more like a friendship we have now. I hope the impact my art gives to viewers is more like those who don't already practice recycling tend to do so that we can reduce the rate of improper plastic waste disposal around us. Most African artists live in communities where people only see a future in deciding to be a doctor or a lawyer in future. So it's only platforms like these that help reduce the stigma and provide spaces for our voices to be heard. The arts world seems really big, but if you compare the number of emerging artists to the support here for African artists, it looks little. Then you tend to think maybe you'd never stand out as an artist and might even lose your way. I'm still in the learning stage and I'm also evolving, so I feel like there's more room for improvements and I'm ready for the adventure that would come with it. So, to the emerging artists, there would always be certain people that would see the worth of what you're doing as an artist, and they will tend to try anything to bring you down. But the good news is the artworks you are making was never meant for them. So you do what you do and ignore whatever they see. I feel like the future of emerging African artists is headed in the right way. So I'll just like to advise the emerging artists to be patient and do their thing, because there are people here to support.